lecture 5 under thermal properties of matter. In the last class, we have learnt the concept of thermal expansion and also we have learnt the cause of thermal expansion. After learning this, we have learnt the types of the expansions, thermal expansion. In that we have learnt three types. One is called linear expansion, second one superficial expansion, third one cubical expansion. So these three things we have learnt under types of thermal expansion. In that I have started the first one, linear expansion, and also have given a maximum explanation based on linear expansion along with examples. Okay, today let us go for the second one, which is area expansion or also called as superficial expansion. Today let me show you how to get the expression for area expansion as well as the one more called as cubical expansion. For both the things I will show today along with the one using the concept of linear expansion. So to start with area expansion, first I will write the previous class formulas. So that formula will helpful for you for today's class. Only there is a small change in writing the formulas and also with units. Okay, so please observe the things carefully. So if you learn perfectly the linear expansion, and it is very easy to extend the area expansion or maybe the cubical expansion. Okay, so first let me tell you, here in the one linear expansion where I said we have taken the rod, and that rod which is of length L. Before heating the rod, the length was L. After heating, the length has been increased due to expansion, due to thermal expansion. Hence, we have named it as L dash. Okay, so that figure we have shown in the last class. Now, using that figure, we have written the expression. How this thermal expansion depends on the one expansion can be explained using two steps. One, the change in length is always directly proportional to the increase in temperature or the rise in temperature. Second point, the change in length is directly proportional to the original length. So using those two steps I have written formula. Let me start with that formula and let me write the formula first. With the help of that, easily you can extend the superficial expansion as well as the one volume expansion. Okay, so first let me write the change in length. Let me write for the linear expansion concept. Please observe linear expansion. In the last class I have written this symbol for that with respect to alpha, where it is also called as coefficient of linear expansion. First I will write here, this is coefficient of linear expansion. Linear expansion, the symbol is alpha. For this I have written the change in length, nothing but the new length minus original length. New length is L dash and this is nothing but L. Is always directly proportional to rise in temperature. This is the one formula we have written. Second step we have written, that is L dash minus L, that is increase in length is directly proportional to original length. So by just equating this we have written, that is L dash minus L is proportional to L delta T. And for this you can also write this as, when you remove this proportionality you get a constant, that is you can write it as equal to alpha, where this is called as the one, this is proportionality this is the one constant, proportionality constant alpha, and that alpha is called as coefficient of linear expansion, L delta t. This is what we have written. Now if I rewrite this, I can write this L dash is equal to L plus, that is L alpha delta t, because I have taken this L this side. So if I rewrite, this can be written as 1 plus alpha delta t. This formula I have written the last class. Okay. Also I have written for the formula, that is alpha, where I have written for alpha the standard formula. How to write that formula for this alpha? I have given this, where it is alpha is equal to delta L divided by L into delta t. This I have written. What is this delta L? Nothing but change in length divided by original length into delta t. For this I have written the formula where this is increase in length. Alpha is equal to increase in length whole divided by original length into rise in temperature. This we have written in the last class. How to write this in wordings, this formula. Okay. Also I have written the SI unit for CGS, also SI unit, where unit for this alpha. I will write here itself. Unit of alpha is, one is per degree centigrade or per Kelvin. This unit we have written in the last class. Okay, this is for unit of alpha. All these things we have written in the last class. Okay, now today let me go for the second formula, where it is the coefficient of superficial expansion. I will show you what changes to be done here. Okay, so the first one today, coefficient of superficial expansion. Or coefficient of area expansion. This is our concept today. We are learning this. So okay. So to explain this, first let me tell you what is superficial expansion, or nothing but area expansion. Let us take the one plate, the metallic plate, and that metallic plate is having length and breadth. So the original metallic plate, you have this shape. This is the one shape you have. This is the metallic plate. Let me say this is having area A. This is the original metallic plate. So after heating, this is before heating, you have this. You can also write S, surface area. You can also write A. Both are correct. So here I have written A. Before heating it is. And if I just heat this, after heating means you have, this is the one area of this one block you have, nothing but called metallic plate. This will increase like this. So what do you mean by this? This is nothing but, this is the length. This is the one length you have here, and this delta L, it is the one increasing, this is delta L here, right? And for this here, if this is the one length you have, this is L, and this will be the one delta L. So both length and breadth, both the sides it has been increased. You can show this is the one, length and breadth have been increased here. This is how you can observe how the plate has been, nothing but after heating, expansion has been taking place. This is after heating. Okay. This is A. Earlier for this, let me write this is A naught, or A naught, and this is A after heating. Okay. Now let me write for this now condition here. As you can take A or A dash, both are correct. So this is A and this is A dash. For example, if you want to write yes, you write yes, S dash. Both are correct. So I have done after hitting, this is the one A. Now let me write, take the help of the linear expansion. Same concept we are using here, but here remember, this is the one change in length I have said in the linear expansion. Now today, the change in area. So change in area means I can write this is A dash minus A. This depends on rise in temperature. This is first point. What is the second point? That is change in area is directly proportional to original area. So A dash minus A is proportional to A. I think you have followed these two steps. This is the same steps you are following here, but here we have written length, but here we are writing area. I think hope you have understood what I have written here. So this is the one condition. Now combining equation 1 and 2, you get. So combining equation 1 and 2, what do you get? Combining equation 1 and equation 2. So A dash minus A is proportional to A delta T. This is the step. Now next, what happens here? Now I want to remove this proportionality and I have to take a constant. So I just want to equate this. So I write A dash minus A is equal to, when you remove the proportionality, then you can write equal to and constant arises. Here I write the constant and that constant you can write here as, that is here in terms of this is A dash A is equal to, constant I should write and that is represented by alpha. But here remember, let me write this is for beta A delta T. What do you want to say here? It is called as beta, which is called as coefficient of superficial expansion. So I can write the formula for this is beta. Coefficient of superficial expansion symbol is beta. I have removed the proportionality and I have taken equal to and put a constant here. Okay. Now using this, I can rewrite the formula for this as, that is beta is equal to delta A by A into delta T. What is this beta called as? Coefficient of superficial expansion. That is equal to change in area per change per original area. That is also per unit rise in temperature. So for this, I write this formula now, where it is, now I will rewrite the formula for this. It is beta equal to increase in area divided by original area into rise in temperature. Right? So this is the one formula what we have done, are written in wordings. Now I can define the coefficient of superficial expansion, where it is increase in the, it is defined as the coefficient of superficial expansion can be defined as the ratio, it is increasing area per unit original area per degree rise in temperature. This is the one statement for the one beta. Okay, so we have got this is formula for beta, right? What you understood? This is the one expression for coefficient of superficial expansion. So you can also write, sometimes if you are writing instead of A, you can write S also. That is, sometimes you can write that is A also. Both are correct. So I hope you understood this now. Now let me explain here. This is the what we have followed the steps. But remember, only one step we have observed here. Instead of L, we have taken it as A dash. Instead of L, we have taken A, right? And remaining all are constants. Here, remember the same formula we write like this, where it is in terms of where beta is equal to, for this you can write that beta dash is equal to is nothing but A dash is equal to here A into 1 plus beta into delta T. Like this you can write for this. This is the formula we can write for this. Okay, right. Now, again you can also rewrite for this one where beta, whatever your formula you have observed here, the same concept you are writing here. Instead of L, you are writing A. Same conditions. But definition observed here. This is increase in length. There you are written increase in area. Here original length. Here it is original area. So by looking to this, you are ready to write where it is defined as, that is coefficient of superficial expansion can be defined as the increase in area per unit original area per degree rise in temperature. So this is one definition for coefficient of superficial expansion. Now the same units will be there because in the last class I said area is always measured in nothing but meter square. Here it is also meter square. Meter square gets cancelled. Rise in temperature, it is in the denominator. So you get, if you write in CG system, per degree centigrade or per Kelvin, if you write in SI system. So the same unit you follow here, the units of beta. Units of beta is nothing but per degree centigrade or per Kelvin. Right. So hope you understood. Very simple way. Because of you, I have written this concept today. It is not required to write this, but this is very important. If you observe this, if you remember these concepts, you can extend this very easily. Similarly, I can also explain for coefficient of cubical expansion, also called as volume expansion. For this, I take the same help, but instead of using A, I use volume V, right? So you can observe what changes. So I will never rub this. I will write here itself. You can observe what it is. Okay. Now let me write the coefficient of cubical expansion here. Coefficient of cubical expansion or coefficient of volume expansion. Symbol is, it is gamma. Now you are writing the symbol, it is gamma. Already we have written alpha, beta, now we are writing gamma, right? And now observe here. For this, what we are observing, here let me take one cube, and that cube will be expanded from all the sides, length, breadth and height. So let us take the metallic cube. For this reason, you can observe here, this is the one metallic cube we have here. This is the one volume V originally. This is before heating it is. Before heating. Okay. Now, after heating what happens? This volume from all the sides it has been extended. Where you can observe here, from this side it has been extended, for this side also it has been extended, here also from all the sides it has been extended, you can observe here. You have understood how it has been extended from all the sides. So length, breadth and height, all the three sides it has been extended. Now let us observe how to write this formula. This is after heating case. After heating. help of the volume. So I take the help of this formula. So I write the increase in volume. So first I write increase in volume. Increase in volume is V dash minus V. E is proportional to rise in temperature. Second point, increase in volume is proportional to original volume. Right? This is the one condition. Now combining equation 1 and 2. What do we get here? Combining equation 1 and equation 2, we get, what do you get here? We get it as V dash minus V is equal to, is proportional to, that is V delta T. This is what we write. Okay. Now if I remove the proportionality, we get V dash minus V is equal to V, that is the proportionality I represent by gamma delta T, like this. I write it as gamma delta T. Now this can also be written as, where with the help of this formula I can write now, that is V dash is equal to V into 1 plus gamma delta T. This is the one formula for volume expansion, you can use it. Okay. Now using this I can write the formula for gamma. What to write for gamma? Where gamma is equal to where it is delta V by, that is del V into delta T. Right? Now what do you want to say now? Delta V is where it is increase in volume. Increase in volume divided by original volume into rising temperature. This is rising temperature. Increase in volume divided by original volume is rising temperature. Okay, this is the one formula. Now using this, what you would define? How do you define this one? Coefficient of cubical expansion can be defined as the increase in volume per unit original volume per unit rise in degree temperature. Per unit rise in temperature. Okay? Per unit degree rise in temperature you can say. So you can remember, once again I will recall you, coefficient of cubical expansion or coefficient of volume expansion can be defined as increase in volume per unit original volume per degree rise in temperature. Hope you understood this one. Very simple way it is. Okay. Now again I had tried the units for the one volume expansion. Again I take the help of this one because here original volume and also the increase in volume both will have the same units, due to which they both will get cancelled here. Only temperature remains, which is in the denominator. So you get the value for this one. The units of where you can observe, this is the one units of, that is nothing but gamma. Units of gamma I can write here where it is per degree rise in temperature or per Kelvin. This is the one units. Is it clear? So remember, today we have learned all the three expansions. In the last class only we have completed only linear expansion, and I have explained all the steps how it is before heating and after heating what happens. And expansion takes, what is the cause of expansion I said, and that cause is due to what? Due to the molecules will be vibrating with larger amplitude. As and when they are heated, they vibrate with larger amplitude. They require more space, due to which they will, to vibrate for the larger amplitude, they require more space, they expand. Hence you can observe the three different types of expansions. Okay, last class we have learned one regarding linear expansion. With the help of linear expansion, today we extended all the three, and that is the one area expansion, one more remaining volume expansion. With the help of this only, we have written all these things, and just observe what changes you have come across here. Okay, and remember, And this volume expansion can also be explained with respect to where you can say solids and liquids. For both, volume expansion takes place. Even for the cube, solid cube will be volume expansion takes place. For the liquids also volume expansion, because always liquids are taken in a container, as and when they heat, the expansion of volume takes place. So volume expansion is taken for both liquids and solids. Now I will give two examples for solids and liquids. So I will compare how the volume expansion can be explained. For solids, I give an example of invar material, which is made up of iron and nickel. So invar material, that is used for pendulum clocks. So please observe, to get accurate readings, we preferably use invar materials which are made up of invar materials for the pendulum clocks. Okay, I will tell you the one application afterwards. At present, what is this invar? Invar means it is a combination of both iron and nickel. It is having both iron and nickel, where it is iron which is made up of 64% and nickel which is of 36%. Nickel which is of 36%. So what do you observe in this? You can compare. And also the clocks are made up of quartz also material, but the expansion for invar material will be more as compared to quartz. Because of that, we prefer to use quartz clocks. We will give accurate readings, because during summer, during winter, it will never expand. The expansion will be negligible. Hence, we prefer that material. But remember, at present I give invar material which is made up of iron and nickel, where iron which is 64% which is iron, and also nickel which is of 36% which under the one invar material. A combination of both iron and nickel, and that will be having the one called as the nothing but the volume expansion is 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 5 per degree centigrade. 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 5 per degree centigrade. This is how you can observe for the one solids. This, let me tell you coefficient, so that is expansion for solids. Particularly solids, that is for gamma. Nothing but volume expansion only for solids. In that, I take an example of invar material. Invar, where, and one more quartz. So what do you observe from this? Invar, it is a combination of iron and nickel, I said. So this is iron and nickel. What do you mean to say? This iron which is of 64% it is, and this is made up of 36%. This is 36%. So combination of iron and nickel combination, we call it as invar material, and this has coefficient of expansion is 1 point, that is nothing but it is you can say it is 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 5. It is 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 5. 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 5 per degree centigrade. This is the one for invar material, which is very small. You can observe the one coefficient of expansion is small, which is of this much. What about quartz? Quartz is absolute zero. You can say it is nearly equal to zero, I can say. Coefficient of expansion is nearly, which is negligible value. So it is nearly zero we see. Most of the times the expansion is very negligible. We say maximum times is about to zero. So nearly zero I can say for quartz material. Right? Similarly, I said for liquids, where you prefer to say liquids means the two liquids. One is mercury, another is alcohol. So alcohol means we can observe this is ethyl alcohol, particularly ethyl alcohol, and also the one is mercury. So these two are liquids. The volume coefficient of expansion is more for ethyl alcohol than mercury. Because of this reason, we prefer to use mercury in thermometers. Expansion is very less compared to ethyl alcohol. So particularly alcohol thermometers are used, and also the one mercury thermometers are used, and most of the times we prefer to use mercury itself. And at the same time, it has a very property mercury, because mercury does not stick to the container, and compared to the other liquids like water, it will give accurate readings as compared to water. It will never stick to the container. So that is the one special property you have. Those properties already you have learnt in liquids. Hope you understood this in liquids, where but remember, still I think you are not yet learnt the called as surface tension property. So there you come across the surface. If you have learnt surface tension property, you will understand mercury and water are totally different, because cohesive force, adhesive force are totally different, because mercury does not stick to the container, but water sticks to the container. These are the special properties you have here. Okay, and remember, I use the one liquid like alcohol, particularly ethyl alcohol I use. That is ethyl alcohol, which is having, that is for liquids I say. I'll write here, I'll just rub it here, then you can understand much better. Let me write here for liquids. Particularly for liquids, that is gamma, what is it? Ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol. And one more, I take it as mercury. So ethyl alcohol, which is 1 ton into 10 raised to minus 5 per degree centigrade. But this is 18.2 into 10 raised to minus 5 per degree centigrade. So please observe these two examples, where I have given an example for liquids, where this for same rise in temperature. If you supply temperature for both the liquids, for ethyl alcohol and mercury, where you can observe this will show 1 ton into 10 raised to minus 5 per degree centigrade, but this will show 18.2 into 10 raised to minus 5 per degree centigrade, where the volume expansion for the coefficient of volume expansion for the liquids, particularly coefficient of volume expansion for liquids. So you can observe one solids, how do they give an explanation for the same rise in temperature. You get this. This is the one, the coefficient of expansion in the involved material, and this is nearly about 0. But here it is coefficient of volume expansion for liquids, particularly alcohol shows 110 into 10 raised to minus 5 per degree centigrade, and this is 18.2 into 10 raised to minus 5 per degree centigrade for mercury. So today we have learnt the 3 types of expansions. In that also we have learnt the definition of alpha, beta and gamma, and all the 3 are having the same units, where you can observe the units are same per degree centigrade or per Kelvin for all the 3, for both nothing but superficial as well as for cubical expansion. For all the 3 you have the same units. And same definition will be there. If you are explaining for volume expansion, you only write volume here, and this is original volume. For the one cubical superficial expansion, you write here increase in area, and this is original area. And here for the length, you write increase in length to original length. Hope you understood what changes to be done. If you understand this, you can easily write. Instead of L, we write here A, there we write B. Okay, and here we take coefficient of volume, that is linear expansion as alpha, coefficient of superficial expansion as beta, and this is coefficient of cubical expansion as gamma. So hope you understood all the 3 come, particularly linear, superficial and cubical. Very easily you can understand and you can explain, and how your explanation has been given I have shown you. So please observe the things carefully and you make it very easy. There is no difficulty, it is very simple. Only slight changes to be done while reading the things. Okay, now one more point I want to say today regarding the coefficient of volume expansion. So what do you want to say here? Coefficient of volume expansion. I gave examples for coefficient of volume expansion, one solids and one more the liquids, right? Again I just go for solids are having, that is, and liquids have small value of, that is, solids and liquids are having small value of the one coefficient of expansion compared to, that is nothing but called as the, you can observe how it is. Solids are less compared to this. You can observe here. See here, solids are very less compared to liquids. right? So you can also observe the examples here, and these things you have understood carefully. Now let me go for the next part. What is it? Here I want to say here one more point. Coefficient of volume expansion. How this variation of this gamma, variation of this cubical expansion, how does it varies with the temperature? How does it varies with temperature? I'll tell you with graph. It's a very simple graph, how it varies and how the temperature changes, what happens to the value of this gamma, how gamma changes with respect to change in temperature. So variation of gamma with temperature I want to see here. In this case, I want to take an example of the one copper. How this copper explains for the one temperature. How does it explains? So let me take the copper versus temperature. This is gamma of copper. Copper along y-axis, and this is temperature. Along x-axis. This is along y-axis. What I want to say here means, for this one, for small rise in temperature, it will rise, right? The one gamma rises, and it will rise for some temperature, and after some time it becomes constant. At what temperature it becomes constant? Above 500 Kelvin, it becomes constant. So let me show you here. This is nothing but 100. This is 200 I say, here above 500 if I give here. If I rewrite this is for above 500, then like this you get a constant for above 500 value. Like this you get a graph for copper, which is where it is shown for copper along y-axis, and this is for temperature along x-axis. So it will be rising. For small rise in temperature, it will rise, and this coefficient will rise above up to 500 Kelvin. When once it reaches above 500 Kelvin, it becomes constant. This is what you can observe. It becomes constant higher temperature, particularly above, that is 500 Kelvin. Right? This is one concept you understand for how variation of gamma with temperature. Right? And also observe here one more concept I want to say. Coefficient of cubical expansion or volume expansion for an ideal gas equation with constant pressure. How the one ideal gas equation varies with constant pressure. I will show you the one expression here. This expression you expect for sometimes for objective type questions, maybe sometimes for 3-mark question. So arrive at the expression for coefficient of volume expansion for a perfect gas equation at constant pressure they give. This equation they give for constant pressure. So let me tell you how to explain this. This is a mathematical expression, very simple way. You have to use perfect gas equation, and again we are keeping constant pressure, and using that constant pressure you get the expression for gamma. What is that gamma? Gamma is called as coefficient of cubical expansion. Okay, right. So also we write the coefficient of cubical expansion of an ideal gas at constant pressure. I will give the question for this. I will give the question for this. Coefficient of cubical expansion coefficient expansion. Cubical expansion symbol is gamma for an ideal gas. For an ideal gas at constant pressure. At constant pressure. This is the one question you expect for 3 marks, which is very important. You expect this for 3 marks. This is 3-mark question it is. Or sometimes they give a question derived. That is derived or derived. Gamma is equal to 1 by T. You have to show this concept. Where gamma means coefficient of, that is cubical expansion. T is temperature, and this explains for an ideal gas. So sometimes they give directly derived gamma equal to 1 by T. It is understood coefficient of cubical expansion for an ideal gas at constant pressure. It is for an ideal gas at constant pressure. For this you can observe, you can take an ideal gas. What is that ideal gas? Where you can take, you already know in the last class, for an ideal gas. For an ideal gas, what is the formula? PV is equal to URT. What is P? P is called as pressure, V is called as volume, mu is called as the number of moles present in it, R universal gas constant, T is absolute temperature. So now what we have to explain, this is ideal gas, we have it. This is an equation 1. Let me write this is equation 1. Now we have to keep the constant pressure. Pressure is kept constant, remaining on, you are rising the temperature. When you are rising the temperature, what happens? So volume changes, temperature rises, expansion takes place. So I write, so at constant pressure you can observe. At constant pressure means P is kept constant. Naturally this volume increases. So you can write delta V, and this U is a constant, R is a constant. Then when it is heated, naturally there is a rise in temperature. So this is equation 2. So very simple concept. Please observe, you are heating the gas. That is nothing but whatever the one gas you have taken, in the ideal gas, perfect gas you have taken. So these gases will be heated, and when they are heated means you are heating at constant pressure. So you are keeping this pressure constant. Naturally what happens to volume? Volume increases because of rise in temperature. Remaining 2 terms are constant, so we kept as it is. These 2 are constant, so we are kept as it is. Now dividing equation 2 by 1. Very simple. Dividing equation 2 by equation 1. We get. So what happens here? Dividing equation 2 by equation 1 means I write P delta V is equal to mu R delta T divided by, this side I write PV, this side I write it is mu R T. What happens here? This T and T gets cancelled, mu gets cancelled, R gets cancelled. Only left out is, what is left out? Delta V by V is equal to, that is delta T by T. Now I rewrite this formula now. Therefore delta V by V into delta T is equal to 1 by T. What is this delta V by V into delta T? Just now we have learnt in the cubical expansion where it is gamma. That is gamma is equal to 1 by T. Right. It is understood where gamma is equal to 1 by T. So very simple point. Take only 2 steps. One is you have to select a perfect gas equation. In that you are keeping constant pressure, and you get second equation. Dividing equation 2 by equation 1, you get some expression, and equating this expression, and you have also known that delta V by V, that is increase in volume divided by original volume into rise in temperature. So already have defined coefficient of cubical expansion can be defined defined as increase in volume per unit original volume per degree rise in temperature is called as cubical expansion. That cubical expansion is represented by gamma, that is equal to 1 by T. So always this cubical expansion increases, temperature decreases. Always they are inversely proportional. As there is an increase in temperature, cubical expansion goes on decreasing. Always remember they are inversely proportional to each other. This is how you explain the concept of G1 concept. So you can say volume expansion decreases when temperature increases. Volume expansion increases when temperature decreases. This concept you have to remember. So you can remember volume expansion decreases. Volume expansion decreases and temperature increases. So this concept you have to conclude by writing this expression. So this is for 3 marks, very important concept. Just remember this. Hope today we have learnt many concepts regarding alpha, beta and gamma along with this 1 3-mark question. Okay. In the next class let us go for further things. Thank you.